Hey guys, I'm Captain Ratchet with Thunderslat Tech, and we're going to be reviewing the Xm1 Mouse by Endgame Gear. Let's get to it. Being a German company, Endgame Gear did release the mouse in Europe first. So although the Xm1 hadn't been released in the US yet officially, I was able to snag it a little bit earlier than its Amazon release from Newegg thanks to a Reddit post on r/mouse review. If you guys don't know what that is, it's literally a Reddit about mice. So I do encourage you guys to check that out. So from the get-go, the box doesn't look like anything special. It's simple and to the point with logos, branding, and just a list of general features that the mouse comes with. We'll be getting into those features while I surgically remove this mouse from its packaging. Unfortunately, I couldn't rip the box open, so I had to use some human technology to get the mouse out. But anywho, the mouse comes with a Pixart PMW3389 sensor. Now this sensor supports a range from 50 to 1600 CPI. And if you're wondering what CPI is, it's really no different than DPI. I just love opening up a new mouse and getting that gamer gunk free new mouse smell. I personally have no complaints with the packaging. Now, as the company's name implies, this mouse is aimed at being the endgame. Is it my endgame? No. Personally, I am a palm gripper, so the shape just didn't suit me. I would say it's more recommended towards claw and fingertip users. So I definitely think people that use that type of grip will enjoy this mouse more than I would. These are my right hand measurements. From the top of my middle finger to my wrist is 20 centimeters, and from my thumb to the right side of my hand is 8 centimeters, just so you guys have a point of reference. These are the measurements for the mouse, starting with the length being 12 centimeters, the width 6.6 centimeters, and the height 3.6 centimeters. Now, despite its ambidextrous shape, it actually does like side buttons on the right side, so my left-hand users are out of luck. Now, the mouse comes in weighing in about 70 grams without following the whole honeycomb shell trend, and I personally enjoy that. I just love lightweight mice. The clicks on the mouse are pretty meh. They're not Logitech great, but they're not bad either. Endgame Gear does claim to have a patented analog technology along with their mechanical arm-on switches. So in order to test that claim, I went onto humanbenchmark.com to compare my reaction times between different mice. I know, it's not the most scientific or accurate way of testing that, but let's face it, I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar. Now, I first tested my reaction time with my main mouse, the glorious Model O. Or as I like to call it, the Modelo. I know, I'm not the fastest hand in the West or the funniest, but after 10 attempts, I ended up getting an average of around 250 milliseconds. Afterwards, I went on to test the Xm1 using the same exact method, and I was surprised to see that my reaction times were actually lower. I got an average of 206 milliseconds. It could be that I was more warmed up or some type of placebo effect made me faster, so I can't accurately gauge how much of an impact the mouse made, if any. But I think I can confidently say that 1 millisecond technology is real, but it'll have a minuscule effect on your gameplay. It won't give you a great advantage, but in online games where milliseconds are the deciding factor between life and death, well, you get the gist of it. One of the things I disliked about the mouse, other than its shape personally, is its rubber USB cable. It's not bad, but it's not great. Kinda like a Zoe mouse cable. And out of the box, it comes out with all these folds and kinks. And I guess just compared to other mice, the glorious Model O or the Final Mouse Air 58, cable just seems subpar. Now again, this is just preference, and some people will probably not mind the cable, especially if you have a mouse bungee. But I guess I've just been spoiled by all these newer mice that have shoelace cables and custom paracord cables. I just find it really hard to go back to that standard rubber cable. But Again, this is just my personal opinion. And last but not least on the list are the mouse feet. The Xm1 does come with PTFE mouse feet, but they're not like HyperGlass. They're thinner. They're not as bad. They're pretty good, but not as good as HyperGlass. So really, again, it's just preference. Some people might prefer the stock feet. Others might want to go after some aftermarket ones. Me, personally, I can't really tell that big of a difference. Now, there aren't any aftermarket feet available right now, but Endgame Gear does sell their own in-house mouse feet, just like the Glorious company sells their own G-Skates. So I haven't been able to compare aftermarket feet to the stock ones, but I don't think there'll be that big of a difference to me. Again, everything is just preference. If you guys want to try out some aftermarket feet, it's all up to you guys. There was another thing I didn't like about the mouse. It's something small that a lot of people might not care for, but after a session of gaming, it does look oily. Again, this is just something that people with a certain aesthetic might not like, but if you're a competitive player, you probably won't really care how your mouse looks like. The Xm1 is a solid mouse. It has solid mouse 1 and 2 buttons, okay side buttons, a pretty good scroll wheel, great sensor. It has the 1 millisecond analog technology, which is more than just a gimmick, honestly. Its shape, which the closest I can compare it to is my ZA13 without the hump. It has a very low profile, so the shape isn't for everyone. Again, it's mostly suited for claw or fingertip users. And honestly, it's a great competitive mouse. I know it isn't the coolest mouse. It doesn't have any RGB, so it's probably not the type of mouse you want to have in a setup tour video. And the mouse is prone to grease stains and fingerprint stains. So again, not a mouse you want to show off. But I don't think Endgame Gear is aiming for that. This is just the first mouse in their lineup. And I think they're trying to reach a different crowd than most mouse companies. Honestly, it makes me excited. We're having a revolution right now of mice where we're aiming for something more than just RGB. Weight, sensor, just shape-wise. I'm just enjoying all these new companies taking these leaps of faith with their mouses. And honestly, it's pretty good. Alright guys, that's it for this review of the Xm1 mouse. If there's anything I missed or anything that can help me make a better YouTube video, this is my first time reviewing a mouse. This is also my first time using Adobe Premiere Pro. So please don't be afraid to let me know or ask me a question or tell me how I can improve for next time. I did order the new G-Wolf skull, which was supposed to arrive with express shipping, but apparently they didn't give me express shipping even though I paid for it. And I also ordered the new Razer Viper, so I will be doing more of these videos soon. It's gonna take me a while because I'm not the best at editing, but yeah, thanks for watching. Subscribe, like, all that stuff. See you in the next one.